Have no fear, cause Mayberry is here. Have no fear, cause Mayberry is here.
Who?
Have no fear, cause Mayberry is here. Have no fear, cause Mayberry is here. Have no fear, because Mayberry is here. Have no fear, because Mayberry is here. It's your boy Chris Mayberry. You already know what's going on. We have here today Mr. Timothy C. Taylor, a native from Canton, Mississippi for 62 years. Alderman Award 5 for over 5 years. He has 4 beautiful daughters and 3 grandchildren. He has been a part of a Freedom House committee as many historical moments throughout Canton, Mississippi history has been recorded and displayed for remembrance of the great local and national successors such as Martin Luther King Jr. and the first black female mayor, Alice Scott, just to name a few. Hello. Alderman Taylor has also been a part of the watershed committee for Madison County for 2 years, where they managed flood control in the greater Canton area. In the height of his career as an alderman, he has been a part of one of the greatest economic developments in history of Canton, Mississippi, and the Madison County area. Whereas a collective, he has been a part of Welcome Clark Beverages, Amazon, and Amazon World Services to Canton, Mississippi, and creating new opportunities for our residents. He is none other than the real Tim. The real Tim. I'm the real Tim Scott. Hello. But hey, I'm gonna let you. You've been here longer than I have, so you got it. You got it. But we have here today the real Tim Scott Taylor, who is bringing us a real positive change. Vote Tim Taylor. So what it do? What it do? Y'all see who I got? I got Mr. Tim Scott Taylor himself. Introduce yourself, Mr. Tim. Introduce yourself.
Again, I'm Tim Taylor. A lot of people know me as Tim Scott, so I take that name so I can be identified with the Taylor. So if you know me, you know Tim Scott. Legally, I'm Tim Taylor.
Okay, Mr. Tim Taylor. Who is Mr. Tim Scott Taylor? Who is that person? Let me know something.
Okay, yes, Tim Scott Taylor. I'm from Canton. Attended school, Canton Public Schools, 1981, and I've been in Canton all of my life. I took a brief hiatus. I became a single man raising 3 daughters.
Whoa.
So
we gotta talk about that. Let's talk about it.
So we moved away.
Mm-hmm.
When I went through my first divorce, I've been divorced twice, so I'm just putting it out there. My baby was 6 years old when I got my first divorce. Mm-hmm. My baby's now 33. My oldest is 41, and my second child is 39, and I have a 35-year-old. None of them live in Canton now. I have a daughter in Laurel, Mississippi. She's in education. Just got a master's degree. I have a daughter that works at the VA Medical Center, who's a medical tech. She's the only one still in the area. My third daughter is a principal in Houston, Texas. I'm sorry, assistant principal. Mm-hmm. And my fourth daughter is in Minnesota. She's in HR for a Post cereal company.
Oh, yeah. You got it going on. Yeah. You got it going on. They let you know they were raised right there.
Yeah.
By Mr. Tim Taylor himself.
Daddy's Little Girls before the movie came out. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that I tell my daughters all the time, I'm not one who does a lot of texting. I still write letters. And I let them know this. Mm-hmm. And I read this many years ago in a book called The Last Lecturer by Randy Pausch, who was dying from pancreatic cancer. Mm. He had 2 little boys that he knew he would never get to see grow up. And I modified his statement, and I quote, that no matter where you go in life, and no matter what you do, and no matter who you fall in love with, always know that I am the first man to ever fall in love with you.
And you stood on business with that too.
That's right. And I continue that even today because I love them. And they've made me proud, will continue to make me proud. And the only thing I wonder about my life thus far is would my mother be proud of me? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure she would.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she would. I'm pretty sure. What? When did your mama pass?
1995. She was in the school system, Miss Emma Williams.
And how old were you during the time?
I was 32 years old.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I was 32.
What made you get into politics?
All my life, I've enjoyed history. I've enjoyed reading the Constitution. Although I know this particular Constitution was not always inclusive of African Americans, because when you look at the authors of it and when it became a Constitution, African American men and women, Black people were not included in its Constitution. But as you read it, all the way from the First Amendment, you look at what's inclusive: free speech, free religion, freedom of assembly. That's inclusive of us all. But what really hit me was when I was about 25 years old. I got the opportunity to read one landmark case, which was Brown versus the Board of Education. And the one amendment in the Constitution that they used to reverse Plessy versus Ferguson was the 14th Amendment, and it was due process. When they reversed Plessy versus Ferguson, that Brown board versus the Brown versus Board of Education, and that said that once upon a time schools were separate and equal. Brown reversed the decision, saying schools were not equal; they were separate and unequal. So this is what got us into these segregation cases in the United States of America, and this is what desegregated the school systems, and this is where we are now. And I stand on the shoulders of those people, along with Thurgood Marshall, who pushed that, giving an equal opportunity to what education is today.
Oh, that's good. So you said 25, you came in, you want to see a change.
I wanted to see a change.
What was the first thing that you ran for in your city?
Well, I was appointed to the Canton Public School Board.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was there and was making some changes. We got involved in a lot of things. One thing, with anything in leadership, you're gonna have to do some things that are not always pleasant, but they must be done.
Hello.
So
there you go.
I got there and I knew that a lot of things were not going well. We had an attorney sitting there who had been there 25 years.
25.
And nothing was being done in our children's favor.
Come on.
So there was a decision that had to be made. And attrition takes place in everything that we do. You can't sit in places forever and do nothing.
Hello.
And when you're there, you can't create chaos, and you shouldn't cheat, because when you're cheating the future. You're cheating our children.
You most definitely right about that.
Yes.
Because get what, can we still at square one look like?
Look like it, yeah. We're
from the outside looking in, we still at square one.
That's the scandal that we just went through a couple of years ago.
Let's talk about it.
That will hurt us for the next 10 years. I get the opportunity to sit in the Makita meetings, Madison County Economic Development Agency. I get to sit at the Madison County Business League and also Central Mississippi Planning District. This is the one blemish that the city has when it comes to our school systems. Whatever happened, it was wrong. It was wrong yesterday. It will be wrong today, and it will be wrong tomorrow. We have to fix our image in this particular city. We're having a hard enough time. We're already at the bottom, but being at the bottom doesn't mean you should stay there.
Hello.
I hope to be the real positive change that the city not only needs, but what the city will get.
And when you say positive change, what do you mean by that? What's the thing that you see that you can bring to for us?
When I say real positive change, the realness will be concerning the people. The positiveness will be in the actions that we take, and the change will be the results of all the previous statements that I've ever made. Real positive change. Please get out and support it April the 1st, 2025.
April the 1st, 2025.
Yes.
You go vote wherever you're supposed to go vote at.
Yes. Vote where you're supposed to vote. And let's not cheat the system. Too many people lay down their lives to get this privilege. Follow the rules. If you don't live in the city of Canton, don't vote. Even if you want to vote for me, I will never advise to circumvent the system. These elections should be open, fair, and free. So if you don't live in Canton, don't vote in Canton. And of course, there's stipulations that we have to follow. In order to run for office, you're supposed to have a residency at least 2 years in advance. If you run and you don't have this, you're cheating. And we don't need cheating before the city of Canton's name. This is what is expected of us. This is why we're not in a situation to draw the type of businesses that we need. And I'm telling you, this Canton Public Schools scandal really hurt us. That's what is talked about all the time, even up until Thursday. I was in a meeting in Meridian and it came up. So it's a statewide problem. But yet, when you're a school district that's already struggling, it seems to be hyphenated to some degree. So the one thing in the positive in my statement, when I say real positive change, we have got to change the image of the city of Canton.
Hello, I 100% agree with that.
We've got to do that.
100% agree.
And when we change our image or put forth the effort to change it, and we take care of the cosmetic process in the city of Canton, I mean clean it up. Because nobody wants to invest $1 million in something or place if you're not taking care of it.
Hello.
I know the question is asked all the time, why don't we have what Gluckstadt and Madison and Ridgeland, what they have? Well, number one, we got to take care of what we already have, and that will send the message that we are here and we're ready to open the city up and say the city of Canton is really ready to do business.
Hello. Understood. So since you've been alderman, how long have you been alderman, first of all?
5.5 years.
What have you seen or done in your 5.5 years?
Well, number one, and I take pride in this, when I talk about the cosmetic outlook, there's nothing I can do about the aesthetics, but I can do something about the cleanliness of the city.
Right.
In 5 years, I've had 20 cleanups.
20 cleanups.
20 cleanups.
Okay.
We do one every quarter. And in 5 years, we've amassed that. And not always getting people who live in Canton. These are people who are interested in Canton and come back to help out. So that's to my credit, to sponsor these 20 cleanups and putting forth the greatest effort to clean up the city of Canton, not just in the ward that I represent, but throughout the city of Canton. Look, I represent Ward 5, but I'm an alderman for the city of Canton. Yes.
So with the alderman role versus the mayor role, what is the major difference in them roles?
The major difference is aldermen get to vote. The mayor doesn't vote.
Okay.
The mayor is somewhat of a figurehead, but I look at it as an ambassador for the city. Okay. The mayor can get out and truly recruit businesses, and that will be the role going forward. Now, when you talk to businesses, they will ask about two things. How safe is your city? That's going to go toward the police department. The current chief and I now, we talk on a daily basis. And as far as the directors of the city, I make a phone call to them every Monday morning to assess where the city is, what we need to do, and where we will go from here.
And you're doing this as an alderman?
I'm doing this as an alderman. And you can call every director in the city, and they're going to tell you one thing. We expect a call from Tim Taylor no later than 8 a.m. on a Monday morning. I start at 6:30 a.m.
Early in the morning.
Every Monday morning.
Early morning.
Every Monday morning.
That's what I'm talking about.
So the mayor, in layman's term, is just a figurehead. But believe me, the mayor has a lot of influence. And the one thing, and I see other candidates talking about what they're going to do. Well, I'm going to tell you this.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
I'm going to build a relationship with the Board of Aldermen because they have the vote. They'll make the decision.
I feel like it's been like that the whole time.
That's the way it is.
How is we not together? We just our city.
Yeah, but when you look at candidates who are vying for this position, they're putting out what they can do. But what they better hope they can establish a relationship.
Let's talk about it.
To get these things done. And on our money, there's a motto that says, "E pluribus unum." From many came one. From the many aldermen that sit at that table, I'm the one that's coming out.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to get some things done through them. The three branches of government also reflect us: judicial, executive, and legislative. The mayor is the executive branch. The legal process will be the judicial, and the Board of Aldermen will be the legislative process that will have the power. And they have no power if they don't come together. 4 votes can get anything passed. 5 will overturn the veto of a mayor, and the mayor does have veto power.
See, us the people, we don't know what really be going on. As you see, you at the board meeting. How many young people do you see there?
Not many. Only when they want something.
That's it.
And of course, there is an interest now because I know young people want to step into the political scene. This is my advice to you.
Talk to me.
It's a craft you got to study. It's not as glamorous as you think. It's more than a notion to get to the table and really be defined and into what you're doing. There's a lot of reading. And if you're not an avid reader, this won't be the job for you if you're serious about what you're doing. And the expectation is always they don't care, but that's not true. We do care. I know I care. Mr. Mayberry, I've been an alderman 5.5 years. I've only missed 3 meetings.
Hello.
And 2 of them were because I was sick. And the 3rd meeting, I was in the hospital. I was not there physically, but I was on the phone, in the hospital bed, going through the meeting and raising the petition that I always do.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Tim Taylor standing on business.
That's it.
So what have been some pros and cons as you being an alderman?
Some of some of the cons have been the negativity. A lot of times we refer to as garbage. It's not garbage when you're trying to legislate what will take place in your city. But the pros are those who believe in our Constitution, those who believe in our government, those who believe that things can get done on the approach to democracy. That's what I work for. Everything that we achieve in the city, I may never benefit from it, but my grandchildren and great-grandchildren will. That's why we have to be significant with what we're doing, serious with what we're doing. And I know all the things that are going on with all the bribery cases and all that. We have to stay away from that. There's a cloud over the city of Canton, and it's not a good cloud. There's been negativity with our utility company. That's a black cloud. There's been negativity with our school system. That's a black cloud. And all that says is black people can't lead. Well, I'm here to say, with my record thus far, yes, we can. And I know I'm quoting a former president, but I believe in that. And not only, yes, we can, but as we go forth with a Tim Taylor's mayor, I will modify that and say, yes, we will.
Okay, Mr. Tim Taylor, if you become mayor, what are some of your plans and thoughts that you got in store for us?
One of the things that I'll be going to the table for is businesses coming to Canton. Right now, we appreciate the industry that we have, but we've got to go after those commercial dollars. That's what brings more sales tax revenue. And when you look at it, you look at the cities and you see what they're doing. We won't be able to compete with Madison and Ridgeland right now with ad valorem taxes because they got houses going up as we speak. But we want to be close enough in saying, why didn't you try Canton? It's a great place, and we got to make it great.
Yeah, we got to make it start with us.
Yeah, that's right. When you look at the numbers, the city of Ridgeland sales tax revenue, $1.3 million a month.
Mm.
The city of Madison, $980,000 a month. We've yet to get the numbers on Glustat, but the city of Canton,
Where we at?
$325,000. We're way behind.
Way behind.
My goal in the city of Canton, as I work with the Board of Aldermen, is to increase that number. By 2026, 2027, I hope we're on the road to increasing that number to at least $500,000 to $600,000 a month.
I see that.
And those are realistic numbers. We got a couple of housing projects that's about to come upon us, and we've got to be prepared to do this. There was one scare that was a hang-up over at CMU when it was announced that we were at 97% water capacity. No business is going to come to your town if you don't have water. We fixed that. They used some American Rescue Plan money, and they're going to build a new well, and we're going to be in business.
That's what I'm talking about.
We're going to be in business.
Do you see any projects in the future for the kids? We have literally, absolutely, almost nothing here for the kids in Canton, Mississippi.
Absolutely. This is just fundamental. We're looking at revitalizing the Boys and Girls Club. We're looking at putting money into the Canton complex, multi-purpose complex. We've had a couple of businesses to talk about what they can bring, and I'm under a non-disclosure agreement, so I can't say what it is.
Understood.
Yeah. When it comes to the kids, we've got to look at what we have. We do know that with the onset of Amazon, the Canton Public School District is about to become a very wealthy district. Probably one of the wealthiest in the state.
I heard they get paid the most.
Yeah. And they just announced back at the last convocation in 2024 that every teacher that comes into the system will start with a $50,000 a year salary.
Are they hiring right now?
I think they are.
I'm on my way.
Okay. So with that, that's going to draw some very good things. It's going to draw some very competent teachers. And I hope one thing that happens, I hope the curriculum increases, because we need those things that other cities and other states have to truly compete when our kids go out into the world and try to compete.
Yeah, we don't need nobody just for a check.
No.
See, that was the problem. I feel like that was the problem with me growing up. Like I see it now. I seen it then, but I ain't know no better.
Right.
But as I look back, I'm like, man, people just out here just for a check. So we don't need that no more. We do that.
All the days of our mature life, we should be falling on our knees, number one. And inclusive of our prayers being that we're not here just to make a dollar, but we're truly here to make a difference.
Yes, sir.
And that's my motto. I'm here to make a difference.
That's what I'm talking about. Ms. Tim Scott, you speak with so much passion. Could you tell me about this passion that you speak with?
You know, for so many years, you've seen a people on the bottom. You've seen a city go into despair. And nobody cares. But we got to care about ourselves.
Hello.
We've seen the politics of yesterday being hooked up and controlled by wealthy people. Well, wealthy people at the top only care about what they can get. They don't care about what you will get. Politics is based on who gets what and when do they get it. Well, I say it's about time we put a representative in that leadership who cares about the people. Not caring about what I can get, but caring truly about the people. I grew up in this city. I played in this city. I fought in this city. I dwell in this city. And therefore I know I love this city. And I know one thing, you can't lead the people unless you love the people. And I sincerely love the people. I'm getting a little emotional with this because I care. I care. We're better than what's said about us.
So Leo.
And we can do better. And with the right leadership, we will do better.
Can to the top.
Yes.
So what has been your motto this race, this campaign? What has been your motto?
Let the work I've done speak for me.
Hello.
Let it speak. And I'm the only candidate at this point, with the exception of Ms. Daphne Sims. She was once an alder lady, but I'm a current alderman. I'll be the only candidate going forward with experience thus far. Mm-hmm. Right now, we're in a motivating phase of city government. That is going to translate over into motivation, momentum, and then we can get to the level of consistency. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm about. Starting from the bottom. Because when things are given to you or handed to you, you don't appreciate them. I put in the work. That's the difference that it makes. Mm-hmm. Coming in, we've had to make some very tough decisions. And all of my colleagues will tell you one thing. He's a fighter. And I don't always agree. Every alderman and alder lady sitting at the table will tell you, we've had to fight, Tim Taylor.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen it in action.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. And, even with the fights, we don't carry it with us because we know there are going to be other challenges coming about.
There you go.
I think I'm going to be scrutinized about my vote for the flea market during the pandemic. Oh. And I know that was a tough choice. But we're talking about the economics of the city. Mm-hmm. And when you look at it, Walmart didn't close down. Mm-hmm. People stayed and shopped at Walmart. They may have modified some of their hours, mm-hmm. but they didn't close it down. And they were going to run 24 hours, 7 days a week. And then the state fair was coming in here for 2 weeks. They never shut it down. So why should we shut down something that makes an economic impact to the city?
Right.
That was my thought. That was my fight. The aldermen changed their mind, and we pushed it through.
That's what I'm talking about. It was 2020?
Yeah, 2020 when the pandemic hit.
The flea market that happened in May?
Right. I know the flea market in October.
Oh, October. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we get two of them.
Yeah, we get one in May, one in yeah.
October about done anyway.
Yeah.
So
right.
Yeah, we could have kept that open
anyway.
Yeah. So do you have any plans for the black business owners in our city?
We're going to talk about small business because when we look at the build up of America itself, mm-hmm. it was built up by the middle class. So we're going to look at the concept of what a renaissance is. Mm-hmm. And we're going to look at hopefully putting rebirth into the city. Right now, I can tell you this without getting too deep into it. Mm-hmm. We're looking at the revitalization of the holler. We've got some people looking at it, some investors looking at it, and they may want to do a resort type revitalization. The only thing I'm against, Mr. Mayberry, mm-hmm. is a 24-hour liquor store. Now that is a component.
We don't need no more liquor store.
We don't need
more. Them don't need to be 24 hours.
And we don't need any more convenience stores.
Yeah, we
don't need that. Now, I know there's a segment of Canton or a culture of Canton mm-hmm. that don't like me saying that. I know that
they're gonna be all right.
There's some people want to meet with me now, and they want to put some money into my campaign. Mm-hmm. But I told them, don't invite me to the meeting if this is going to be about liquor stores.
No,
because I'm telling you, I'm not going to support it.
We don't need no more of that. They've been hurting our city for a long time.
A very long time.
And they steady add. We got 8 liquor stores in Canton, man.
Yeah.
They got nothing for the kids. That's what we looking at. Like, what's really going on? Like, who pick and choose this? We don't know.
Yeah.
And you see that they ain't trying to figure it out either.
No. Well, Mr. Taylor, this is the question. Mm-hmm. Let's propose to me. Mr. Taylor, you supported the marijuana facility. Yes, I did. And why? Because as you read, you see what medicinal marijuana has been doing to help kids with behavioral problems. Mm-hmm. What they've been doing for people who may have epilepsy. So if there's something in this that's going to help, then I say yes.
Yeah.
And as long as it's controlled,
Right.
because if you go to Ole Miss has had a marijuana laboratory since the 1960s.
Come on now.
And you know, when we went through the 60s, that was a time when free love was available, so was free drugs. And, you know, we had LSD and all these hallucinating drugs. But now the process is more controlled and it's licensed by the state of Mississippi. And if you read all the information in it, you'll see that we're going to be okay. And on top of it, the return will be in our favor. And as I indicated, anybody who wants to get into politics, you better be a reader, because I'm telling you, the legislation from that marijuana dispensary process, the book was at least this thick.
Ooh.
Took me 4 months to read it, but I got it. And I got everything highlighted that I can use in defense of it. So that is why I voted for the marijuana dispensary.
We need to get 22 to McDonald's out. We need to get rid of all that.
Yes.
We sick of them.
Yes.
Sick of Burger King. I want to know, me personally, still talk.
Yeah.
Who put that Burger King right here?
I don't know who the owners were, but
they wrong.
Yeah.
We ain't not need no Burger King.
Yeah. You know, fast foods are hurting us.
It's killing us.
You see our kids, they're a little overweight.
Yes, they
are. And you know, they're confined to their games. No outside activities.
Well, they're scared to go outside now.
Yeah.
And too much going on now.
And you know, when you get a certain age, you know the metabolism is going to slow down. But in our kids, we're seeing slowed up metabolism right now. So if you don't have the energy to get a little exercise, that could truly somewhat trump your ability to think. And it's hurting us, but we're going to be trying to build a healthy environment along with the Board of Aldermen.
That's good. That's good. Glad to hear it.
Yes.
And I close the statement. Could you leave us with some good remarks for your campaign and just for yourself personally?
Yeah, again, as we go forth in this campaign, we're going to be pushing for real positive change. As I indicated to you, the realness is in the people. This is who it will affect. The positiveness will be in the actions, and the actions will be all positive, and the change will be a result of all this. Many years ago, I was told a story by my grandparents sitting at the fireplace. This is when we had nothing but shotgun houses. And I would always hear the elderly people talk about support, in a sense. Many years later, I read in the Wall Street Journal, Senator Clyburn, out in the east part of the United States, North Carolina. And he was talking, South Carolina. And he was talking about the same episode my grandparents was talking about. And I quote, "If you're ever walking down a country road and it's parallel to a fence, picket fence, no matter what kind of fence. But when you get to the end of the road, you see a turtle sitting on top of that post. No, he didn't get there by himself. Somebody helped him. On April 1st, I need your help.
Hello.
I need you to put me on the top of the post so we can start this real positive change. I'm the only candidate that's not going to need on-the-job training. I'm trained, and I was trained by the best. I don't know what Dr. Truly is going to do. He may throw his hat in the race, but I sit as a student of Dr. Truly. Now, the question is, will Dr. Truly endorse you? Not publicly, I don't believe. Privately, I think he will. And I say that because he's a traditionalist. To become a doctor, he had to work for it.
So did.
Nobody gave him anything. As an alderman, he's seen me as one of the hardest workers at the table. So that's why I say publicly, no. Privately, in his heart, and it's in his heart. He knows my passion. He knows my desire. And he knows my one goal. And I quote, a better can.
Hello. That's what I'm talking about, Tim.
A better can.
I bring y'all greeting from Mr. Tim Scott Taylor. Tim Scott Taylor. Don't forget that name when you go on to sign on paper. Tim Scott Taylor for mayor. I already was the alderman 5.5 years. You heard him. He don't need no training, so all I gotta do is sit and get in that seat and take off. It's just that simple.
That's right.
It's just that simple. Anything else you want to tell the people before we go?
I'm a common man.
Uh-oh.
I come from you.
There you go.
Therefore, I'm for you. And please let this resonate with you.
Mm-hmm.
I dwell with you. I'm in your churches. I shop in your stores.
Hello.
I'm here every day. So therefore, I love you. And as I indicated earlier, you can't lead the people unless you dwell with the people. You can't lead the people unless you love the people. And I love you. As they would say in sign language. Thank you.
Do stuff in like that. Peace sign up there.
There you go.